Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to round 2 of my locals for this week. Here we have Tearlament, pure Tearlament. Well, Tearlament Shadal on the left versus Tr-Brigade Spright on the right. The one and only top 16 North American Championship Tr-Brigade God himself, Mr. Dalen Pitkin, on the Tr-Brigade deck still, but with a little bit of sauce on it with the Spright engine in it. And my friend Partho here on the left, no slouch, certainly the DDD Overlord, playing an in quotes fun deck right now, messing around with a little bit of Tearlament. We're gonna see him open up Rhino Heart here, activates effect. I think I sent a Sheeran, I think, off of that, and then he's gonna go ahead and I almost said Synchro Summon, but Fusion Summon for the Tearlament's Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos effect will go ahead and trigger here to either add or send a Tearlament. So we're going to see him add a copy of Tearlament Salic, I believe that's what that was. Which is basically the continuous, like, negate by sending a Tear. That might have been Crime, too. I'm not entirely sure if that was Crime or Salic. The artwork looks extremely similar. And then we're going to see him activate Kit Kalos' other effect on itself to go ahead and bring out a Merly. The classic Mill 8 combo, hitting a Merly, hitting a Supreme Sea Mare, 2 Rhino Hearts, a Shadal Beast, and that might be a Sheeran hiding under that Merly. Well, there's a Sheeran right on the top there. But yeah, this is how you become a good Tearlaments player. You just mill the stones. So we're gonna see him resolve Beast to go ahead and draw. Then we're gonna see him resolve a Merly in the grave to go ahead and put back Merly itself and a copy of Shadal Beast to make everybody's favorite level 5 fusion monster, El Shadal Winda. And we'll see him set 2 and pass turn. That was Crime. I think that was Crime, actually. When a spell / trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a Tearlament's monster or Visa Starfrost, negate the activation if you do shuffle that card into the deck, then send one monster from your hand to the graveyard. So he does have the Tear on field. It is the Merly, so he can sort of protect this window here quite a bit. Now, Tr-Brigade is a unique deck in the fact that it really sometimes only needs one special one. It kind of reminds me of Mermail back in the day when it was Mermail versus Shadal's. Megalo was insane because you could just straight up start your turn by specking Megalo and popping some of the cards like Marksman or Infantry, and that 24 Megalo could easily contest that El Shadal Winda. Of course, there was no Alistair the Invoker at that point, nothing else that could like kind of stop and protect the Winda. And I think Tr-Brigade is kind of similar here. We're going to see him start with Fractal, sending itself, sending Kit, dumping Nerval, adding Fractal. And this is kind of the same concept here. He could easily, since his opponent does not have Pearl Rhino, could, like, you know, normal summon a Tri, and then banish 3 to summon out something like Doom Eagle. Could summon out something like, the other Link 3, Rugal, which is at 23, which can contest this here Winda in one summon just like that. But Tearlament's Crime is set in the backline, and that is going to do its job at protecting this Winda. And we're going to see him send off that Squamata, and he still does have that Beast in deck, right? We did see him recycle it last turn off of the Merly effect, so he is going to go ahead and dump Beast here, and he will activate Beast effect, go ahead and draw 1 card. Nice little +1 there. And if you're the Tr-Brigade player, you still really haven't special summoned yet, so you do have the opportunity to technically special summon again, but, you know, at that point he could have something like Karas, could have something Spright Starter, but at the end that's your 1 special summon right there, and you're not doing much after that, so it might as well not even matter. So we'll see him set 2 and pass turn, leading with a copy of Galaxy Cyclone. Go ahead and target a set spell trap on the field and destroy it. And he will hit a set Spright Starter. His opponent is going to chain the Spright Starter. You might as well be able to block a little bit of damage, get a card out of deck, get a card on field, get a card in hand, all that good stuff. So he'll summon out Spright Blue. We'll take the 11, and we'll see the blue go ahead and add a copy of Jet from the deck to the hand, so it has a little bit of follow-up. And then we're going to see his opponent normal summon a copy of Tearlament's Rhino Heart. Now, his opponent, of course, does only have access to 1 special summon, but, you know, he's kind of in the driver's seat right now, so it really doesn't matter. We're going to see him double a copy of Havness, and that will trigger Havness effect to go ahead and fusion summon if he so desires. But there will be a DD Crow chained on the Havness to attempt to prevent the fusion summoning from occurring. And it looks like that will go ahead and resolve. No response to the DD Crow. Very, very good, not side deck counter, but I mean, that technically could be a side deck counter. Very good counter to the Tearlament strategy. Of course, the tiers have to return to the bottom of the deck in order to resolve their effective fusion summon, but we're just going to see our tier player go battle phase, Winda over the blue, and then Rhino Heart and Merly indirect for a total of 2,300 damage, dropping his opponent down to 46, and we'll see him just go ahead and pass turn there. And that's basically now or never, as our tier player now sets another card before they pass turn. So still having to deal with two back row with a Winda on field. And we're going to see him normal summon Nerval. This could be, again, another chance to go ahead and out the Winda very easily, but there is a copy of Meta Noise in the back line as well. Go ahead and set that Nerval face down and dump a tier. We'll dump Havness, and then this will trigger Havness effect. He does have access to Rhino Heart here, so we could go ahead and summon the Kaleido Heart to shuffle back either the set and or shuffle back the other set spell trap that he has. Obviously, the tanky on field really isn't doing anything, so we could just go ahead and make him basically lose a card here for free, since the set Nerval isn't a threat either. So we're just going to see him do that, and our Tr-Brigade Spright player is going to go ahead and admit defeat, and we are into a game 2. And as they get started, quick shout out, like always, to two of the sort of sponsors of this channel. If you guys haven't checked out Imperium Duelist already, check them out at the link below, and don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use my affiliate link down in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out with that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back in the channel and helps out a ton. So we're going to see the Spright Tr-Brigade deck go first here, leading with, I think it was a Fractal to dump some names. Fractal dumping Nerval, Nerval adding Kit. Kit, importantly, being a level 2 here. So we'll attempt to use the Kit effect. He's going to banish 1 here. Interesting, and I think I know what's coming. He's going to go ahead and activate Havness in response and mill Havness. Triple Tactics Talents and one other monster, which I can't tell what it is because it's cut off. But we're going to see his opponent chain. It must have been another... Must have had 2 names there. Because we're going to see Daylin chain... It was a Merlio. So Merly and Havness. We're going to see him chain Called By and chain DD Crow here. Hopefully he chained Called By on the Havness graveyard effect, so we can turn off Havness for next turn. And DD Crow the Merly. I think that would make the most sense, because like Havness is like the only card of those 2 that he could potentially activate next turn as well, which the Call By could stop. So we're going to see him summon out the Scareclaw Lightheart, which is interesting to see the deck playing this. I'm not exactly sure of the purpose, but I guess it's just another like Beast warrior they could put in the grave. We're going to see him go for Spright Elf. Elf's going to bring back Karis. The synergy surprisingly is there with these 2 archetypes, man. I really do like to see it. So he's going to go ahead and go for double Dragon Lords off of the Karis, and then we're going to see him spec a Spright Carrot. Yeah, Karis and Carrot. 2 peas in a pod. And we're going to see him pass turn there. Tier activating a copy of Galaxy Cyclone. And we're going to see him negate the Galaxy Cyclone to go ahead and protect the set. So odds are it could be a Revolt or something very impactful like that. Maybe not so impactful against a deck like Tearlament, but we'll see. Then we're going to see his opponent activate Sharon. Discarding Shaddoll Beast, milling 3. And it looks like he did miss there, so he'll just get the effective Beast to go ahead and draw. His opponent does have 2 level 4 bodies on field, though, that he could potentially make a rank 4 play with, or he could just go right into the battle phase here to threaten the Spright Elf. Sharon is at 1800, which can technically run over the 1600 attack double Dragon Lords here. And Havness is at 16 to Spright Elf's 14, so could do a lot of damage here in the battle phase if he so decides to do so. If he so decides to do. That sounds better, I think. So we're going to see him activate double Dragon Lords. And it looks like we're going to see his opponent chain Havness. And this is what I was talking about. This is why Called Buying Havness is always more valuable than Called Buying any other Tearlament name. Because it's one of the names that they can just use as a hand trap on your turn when you activate something to try and slow them down. It just gives them another chance to play. We're going to see him mill 3. And doesn't look like he hit anything off of that. There are no effects of fusion happening. And then we're just going to see him bounce the Sharon back to hand. And then we're going to see him still go into the battle phase here and attempt to attack over the Spright Elf with one of the Havness. And that will get the Elf off field, which is very, very, very important because it's insane follow-up for next turn. And then we're going to see Tyr go ahead and go to main phase 2. Where I think we'll see a Destrudo here paying half life points. Go ahead and summon itself out. There's also a Paleozoic Dynamiscus engraved too, so I kind of like seeing other engines in tier that are just really good to be milled off of tier. I think that's like one of the better things to do with this type of deck is like you're milling a bunch of stuff. Like you don't want to just make it so if you're only milling tiers, that's the only value you're finding. You got to put some other cards in there like Fairy Tale Snow, Destrudo, etc., etc. Whatever you can find, Shaddoll cards makes it just a little bit more worthwhile. And like Paleozoic cards even. If we see him chain the Dynamiscus in response to this revolt, as we see our tier players synchro into Black Rose Dragon, and that's going to force the revolt, which thus the Dynamiscus is being chained to. So everything will resolve. Dynamiscus will come out. Revolt will resolve, going for Farragut. And obviously no need to go for Omen there. And then the Black Rose will resolve, destroying everything but the Dynamiscus. It'll also trigger some of his effects as well. Since they were sent to the graveyard via card effect. He did use Havness in hand effect, but I don't think he's used Havness graveyard effect to go ahead and fusion summon. And would you look at that, there's a Shaddoll Beast waiting in the grave for him to potentially be able to fusion summon with. Importantly, the Dynamiscus not being destroyed because it's unaffected by monster effects, I believe, period. So we're going to see Havness, put back Havness, not going for the window yet, but he could go Kit Kalos, dump another name, get a body on field, right? Apply a little bit more pressure here to try to close this game out. I really don't know how much Tr-Brigade is going to be doing here. We're just going to go ahead and search a copy of Meta Noise, and then normal summon Merly, and then overlay the Merly and the Dynamiscus for totally awesome set 2 pass turn. Yeah, kind of a good board. I think, you know, Toad in Tearlament is kind of cute. I don't necessarily think it's the greatest thing, but, you know, it is something you technically do. We're going to see his opponent normal summon Nimble Beaver, and then we're going to see him chain Tearlament Salic to go ahead and attempt to negate that effect by sending off the Kit Kalos, so it'll negate the Beaver, and then Kit Kalos effect to mill 5, milling Rhinoheart, Sharon, Supreme Seamare, Parallel Rhino, and Triple T. So he will be able to trigger a couple names there, triggering the effect of Rhinoheart, discarding a Sharon from hand, and then activating Sharon graveyard effect, fusing off with the Beast and the Sharon for a copy of El Shaddoll Winda, and then the effect of Rhinoheart will trigger on a new chain, dumping Merly effect to go ahead and fusion summon, put back the Kit Kalos and a Merly to go ahead and summon a Dragostapelia. Now you got Toad, Dragostapelia, Winda on field, just absolutely just out of nowhere, insane, and this is definitely going to be the end here for Spright Tr-Brigade, and there's the fist bump. We're going to see Partho take it 2-0 there over Spright Tri with the Tearlament deck. So that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. And as always, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillac 84, Justin Lamb, HH Cyber, and Mango. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.